Shit.
Welcome one and all to ZTKM Sports. Power Rankings Week 3. The NBA standings so far stands with the Western Conference with Houston Rockets, Golden State Warriors, Denver Nuggets, San Antonio Spurs, Memphis Grizzlies, Minnesota Timberwolves, New Orleans Pelicans, Portland Trailblazers, Utah Jazz, Oklahoma City Thunder, Los Angeles Clippers, Los Angeles Lakers, Phoenix Suns, Sacramento Kings, Dallas Mavericks. The Eastern Conference is Boston Celtics, Detroit Pistons, Orlando Magic, Washington Wizards, New York Knicks, Toronto Raptors, Philadelphia 76ers, Milwaukee Bucks, Cleveland Cavaliers, Miami Heat, Indiana Pacers, Charlotte Hornets, Brooklyn Nets, and Atlanta Hawks.
You sure said a lot of teams in front of the Pacers considering they're number one.
I know.
Number one. That's with that 4 losing streak. We gotta be number one.
That was just in your head.
It was just in my head. But we did beat the Bulls, so we're kind of getting back on track.
Back on track.
We're going to rally.
Yep.
With Zach and Mike over on my left and my right, or Zach behind me and Mike on my right, we're going to break down our power rankings after this. Is there certain teams that you guys are shocked by?
Oh, yeah.
Teams?
The Clippers.
Oh, yeah. Clippers.
1-7 in the last 8 games.
Yeah, they're ranked 11th in the. Yeah, that's a.
Last 2 weeks ago, they were 3rd in the playoffs, and now they're 11th. They're really falling that far. I kind of expected it because the team overall is not that good, but Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan will get them back to where they need to be.
Right now,
They're a little hurt too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the Thunder's kind of disappointing. Being like 10th, but I think they'll probably maybe pull it out.
I don't know. I think the Thunder was pretty much this was what it was going to be. It was a really hit or miss idea to bring
And
the
Carmelo and Paul
superstars that they did. Like they're not superstars that
play well together either.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're one men on their teams. Yeah.
Yep.
You're right.
There's ISO, and they
all
don't.
the stars.
Yeah.
Yep.
All stars, right?
And I read that there's no way that they're going to be able to re-sign Paul George
Oh, really?
if Carmelo decides to bring back his, because he has one more year after this year, and if you were to re-sign with them, then there's no money left for them. Because if Paul George were to re-sign in the luxury tax,
signed with the Lakers, so
yeah, that's true.
Yep.
They'd have to pay $133 million if they were to go and dip into luxury tax to re-sign Chris Paul or Paul George.
Wow. Man.
And there's no way they're going to be able to afford that. So if
They
Carmelo decided to go and not re-sign, but re-sign for a cheaper contract, it could have been different. But who knows what's going to happen, though.
And if I was him, I would soak that money because he is definitely not worth it.
Yeah, $25 million next year.
Yeah, take it. Another surprise to me, I don't know about you guys, Detroit Pistons. Number 2 in the East.
Not even close. Like, I have no idea
How they're doing this.
Avery Bradley and Tobias Harris.
And Drummond. Drummond's playing well.
I mean, and Bradley, that was the stupidest thing that I've ever seen. Like, yeah, Celtics are still number 1, but like they basically were just like, here, take
him from
Avery Bradley,
player.
I know.
An exceptional player, great defender, good 3-and-D player. I've always loved Avery Bradley since he started his career with them.
I mean, his only downside is he is small for a 2 guard.
Very small for a 2 guard.
Like 6'2".
Yep, he's kind of like Tony Allen.
Yeah.
Very tiny, very, very tiny. Kind of surprised by the Knicks.
That's all Porzingis.
Yep.
Yeah, he's playing
Yep.
unbelievable.
But for them to be able to win the games that they have is kind of shocking because it's just him alone, and for him to be taking over games like that is pretty impressive. Because, again, just him alone that's kind of pretty ridiculous for him to be able to win games like that. Cause,
we sure beat our Pacers. He scored, 40 against us?
Yep.
So then I see the
I guess he's hurt now, though, so
Rodriguez is out.
he's out
Oh, boy.
for a couple games.
I was gonna say he's been out for at least.
That's
He was
kinda-
out for one, then came back, and then went out again. I think.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
Wow, that's not going to be good. Let's see. Another surprise would be...
It was a disappointing team for you guys.
Disappointing.
Pacers.
Yeah, in a way. Well,
No?
that's a tough one.
They're still just right in the middle of all those teams.
Yeah.
Yep.
That
Yep.
4-game losing streak, I really thought we should have won like half of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I
I
think
can
so,
see that.
too.
We should have beat the Knicks, honestly. That was...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We crapped out in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
And then we could have even beat the... Well, who was the other team? The Pistons? Weren't we
Yeah,
up
Pistons.
a lot in that game, too?
Yep. We were up on them. Yep. And I told Kyle this when we were watching the Pacer game when they scored 75 in that first half. Was that the Pistons game?
Oh, no, the Pelicans game.
Oh, that
I
was
think.
the one that I was
Pelicans
thinking
game.
of. The Pelicans.
When they scored 75 points and wore themselves out.
Yep.
Yeah.
I really think they did. They ran so much and
Yep.
played so well. The second half, it was like, ugh. And then Tavis went nuts. And Cousins, they both did.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
they got, what, 60 and 30?
Yeah.
Well, combined, they went 75 and
Points.
30, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was too hard. We couldn't guard
Yep.
both.
36 points for Cousins.
Yeah, Sabonis was out that game.
Sabonis
Yep.
was out. That hurt us. Yep.
Where you could tell.
I
He
mean,
was out.
almost 7-footers versus Miles Turner.
And
Miles
Al
Turner-
Jefferson.
And Miles Turner.
Al Jefferson.
He got into foul trouble early with dumb stuff because Cousins is just smarter than he is.
Yep. Drove to the basket and got a foul on him. Yeah.
I think the Timberwolves are a major disappointment this year. Their record is
I still think
decent, but
I mean, we're only like not even
Yeah.
15 games into the season.
they lost to the Kings and they lost to the Suns. I mean,
Yeah.
those are games
They're
that
the team. That's the That's the kind
Yeah.
of team they need. The teams that they need
They
to
beat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Especially when you're struggling.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can't let teams like that beat you. That's for sure.
because look at them, the Kings and the Suns are
At the bottom.
bottom.
And I mean, if they win those 2 games, they go up to like
Maybe
second
second.
place.
Oh,
or
yeah.
third there. Yeah.
I think it'd be 3rd place because I think the record is only they have 1 less win and the same amount of losses as the Nuggets.
Yep. And
So-
then the Rockets and Warriors are 10-3. Well,
Warriors-
Rockets are 11-3
yeah,
now.
Rockets beat the Pacers last night.
Yep.
We're not talking about
Yeah.
No. Okay, let's go ahead and let's get right into our power rankings. And we have edited and made a new addition to the power rankings. As you can tell on the far right, it shows how far the teams have fallen, if they stayed neutral, if they have risen so far. And we'll go ahead and say the teams for Zach. We got the Golden State Warriors, the Boston Celtics, Houston Rockets, Detroit Pistons, San Antonio Spurs, Memphis Grizzlies, Orlando Magic, Denver Nuggets, Washington Wizards, Toronto Raptors, Minnesota Timberwolves, Milwaukee Bucks, New York Knicks, New Orleans Pelicans, Portland Trailblazers, Oklahoma City Thunder, Indiana Pacers, Cleveland Cavaliers, Philadelphia 76ers, Los Angeles Clippers, Charlotte Hornets, Miami Heat, Los Angeles Lakers, Utah Jazz, Brooklyn Nets, Phoenix Suns, Sacramento Kings, Chicago Bulls, Atlanta Hawks, and the Dallas Mavericks.
That Kings move up is like 90% just because they beat the Wolves.
Oh, so they moved up 2 spaces. Yeah.
Yep.
From 29th to 27th. Yeah.
For them to beat them, that's pretty...
Yeah, they would have stayed lab 29 for you then if they would have.
Oh yeah,
lost that.
they've allowed so many huge games.
Well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We beat them pretty badly.
Yeah.
Like we beat them by 20. They've lost a lot of games.
By
by
the
like
20s.
plus.
Yeah.
I actually like the Kings a lot better than the Bulls and the Mavericks because they're just so young. Like, and to have the veterans and George Hill, Zach Randolph, and Vince Carter, it's pretty decent.
They should actually be better than what they are. I mean, they should be, but they have no chemistry whatsoever on
Not
their
yet.
teams right now. Yeah.
And the bottom teams are just
Pretty much
Interchangeable.
bottom teams. Yeah.
they've all won a similar amount of games. It's just they've played more. Mavericks have played like one of the most and have lost a lot.
Right. Let's see here.
And as you can tell, which you'll see later on with Mike and I, with the Clippers, 4-0 at the beginning of the season, now 1-7 in the last 8 games. That's what's going to be trending for my team or my power rankings and Mike's power rankings.
Well, I mean, you can see on mine they dropped 14 spots.
Yep, to 20.
Yeah. So what do you think is the cause of that, Zach?
It really just comes to the start of. I don't remember who the 4 teams that they beat, other than the Spurs were. I think it just comes down to they had an easy start.
Yep.
And now they have a few players hurt, and it's not.
After you leave Jordan and Griffin, it kind of drops off quite a bit. And there's not a whole lot.
Neither one of those two are even, like Griffin is in the tops for his position, but not for being one of the best players in the NBA.
No.
He's not going to really lead your team. I've never been other than his leaping ability. Yeah. And he shoots decently now, but before you.
Yeah, he's kind of changed his game,
but he'll never be the kind of guy that leads you to the promised land.
No.
He's a good supporting player, isn't he? I mean, he's a good guy that's not the superstar on their team. Yeah. And they spent an awful lot of money on him and Jordan, so they're kind of stuck now. They got to have to.
And honestly, I probably should have put the Sixers at 17 and then dropped the other
Pacers.
2 teams down.
Yeah.
But the Pacers would have been out of the playoffs at that point, so we can't have that happening. And I wanted a visual of them on top of the Cavs.
Yeah.
I like that a lot too.
Yeah, you had the Cavs drop 5. Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
They were only so high last time because I had more faith in LeBron James, and he's a one-man wrecking crew, but it only goes so far sometimes.
And their defense is horrendous right now.
He scored 57 points in that one game, and they still almost lost.
I know. That
was against the Wizards.
That's not a good sign. Yeah. That's right.
This is a desperate time because they are the oldest team in the league. It's time to trade that Brooklyn Nets pick right now because Nets are not going to be the worst team in the league, I think.
Oh, no, they're not.
And trade it now, get it out of the way, get a young player out of it at least.
There's still going to be a lottery pick, so I would keep it. Especially because the Cavs are going to go to the playoffs. They're going to kick somebody out.
Somehow,
they will.
Whenever Thomas gets back and they're all...
True.
They work around. They're going to kick somebody out.
If I were them, I would want to trade that Nets pick, get a decent big that can get rebound because without Tristan Thompson, they're really lacking on that rebounding and he plays decent defense.
I think the big thing with the pick is a LeBron James replacement.
That's true.
Is what they're seeing it as.
I know.
If he doesn't sign with them next year, they're going to be SOL.
They're screwed.
Yep.
So you use the pick to replace him then, and then you rebuild
they're probably ready
from
to
there.
see.
Yep.
I see you have the Nuggets moved up 12 tonight.
I was really kind of surprised at that. 3-0 in their last few games.
Yeah, they played really well. Yeah.
Like that's basically a purely record move.
Yeah.
Just because they're 8-5. The West is not doing that great. They're the standings are a lot more even on each side than I thought they were going to be.
A lot more Eastern teams in there now. Look at that. Plus, was it Jokic? Is that his name?
Yeah, Nikola Jokic.
40.
40.
And had 12 rebounds.
I saw that.
So he's coming through. That's what Kyle said. Remember, you talked about Jokic.
Yep.
You really like him a lot.
And they're trying to build the right chemistry, and they're trying to go in the right direction.
The Wizards and Raptors, I'm still flip-floppy about.
Yep.
Yep.
They're up and down losing to teams that they shouldn't be losing to, and then they beat better teams, and it's just like, okay, what are you guys doing?
They should be better than what they are. I know.
Yep.
You got Beal and
Bucks.
And what's his name? Wall. Yeah.
Bucks. They took on a 4-game losing streak. I think they lost they lost at least 3 in a row. I think.
Right.
Yep.
So they dropped pretty hard, and now they're back to 2 in a row. They won with Bledsoe joining them now.
Yeah.
I think. I mean,
And
I
Giannis is still
I didn't realize that they dropped 4 spots, but it kind of makes sense with the Nuggets moving up so high.
Yeah, somebody had to drop. Yeah.
Yep.
And I also didn't quite have faith that Detroit and Orlando were going to keep up what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they lost the day that we did the podcast last week, and then they haven't lost since. So
yeah,
they looked good last night. Remember we watched that game? Was it Detroit? What was it? Well, was it maybe when they played us?
I think it was against us.
No, it was last night. We watched NBA Game Time, and they had Kennard.
Oh yeah, Kennard.
After the game, yeah, he looked really good.
Yeah, had 14 points, was like 7 of 9 shooting.
Yeah. So they're coming on strong. They looked really good last night.
And then Avery Bradley and Tobias Harris combined for 49 points.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, they're playing decently.
They're playing excellent. Tobias Harris is really... he's only 24 years old, I think.
He's really coming on strong. I know.
And Avery Bradley's 26, if that. So the Pistons are exceptional team.
Yep.
Okay. We'll move on to mine.
Okay.
The Boston Celtics, Houston Rockets, Golden State Warriors, San Antonio Spurs, Detroit Pistons, Denver Nuggets, Milwaukee Bucks, Toronto Raptors, Memphis Grizzlies, Orlando Magic, Philadelphia 76ers, Minnesota Timberwolves, Miami Heat, Washington Wizards, Oklahoma City Thunder, New York Knicks, Portland Trail Blazers, New Orleans Pelicans, Indiana Pacers, Cleveland Cavaliers, Charlotte Hornets, Los Angeles Clippers, Los Angeles Lakers, Phoenix Suns, Sacramento Kings, Utah Jazz, Brooklyn Nets, Chicago Bulls, Dallas Mavericks, and the Atlanta Hawks.
Some people
Really
knocking the Warriors out of first.
Yeah, went up with Boston because they're 12-game winning streak.
200-game winning streak. They're playing exceptional without Gordon Hayward.
And now without
Kyrie Irving now,
yeah.
so...
He's a coach. Brad Stevens is a hell of a coach.
And and Brad Stevens is able to get the most out of Aaron Baines, who you never really hear much of. He got a career-high 21 points.
I know.
Brad Stevens is one of the reasons why I put them at number 1. Golden State Warriors will always be in the top 3.
Oh, yeah.
I could have easily had them at 1. There's no reason for them not to be number 1, but
you moved the Rockets up because of their
coach
against the Pacers, Houston Rockets. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
My biggest thing on your list that is just weird is the Heat.
With everybody else below, they've lost games that were games that, like the Wizards.
The Wizards and Knicks, especially, I feel like should be above the Heat.
You think
the Wizards, they just lost games that they should have won. The Suns and the Kings, and the Heat didn't lose to any team that is a team that they should have lost to.
And they got Whiteside back.
Whiteside back. They're still a healthy team. I like their team overall better than the Wizards myself.
That's just because you hate
I hate
Bradley Beal.
I hate him so much.
And you like the Knicks a lot. Yeah, you moved them up from 23rd to 16th.
The Knicks, again, I would have had them higher if we did not know about Porzingis getting hurt.
Yeah.
And their team overall, after Porzingis, as you can tell, they're not as good as the Heat. But everybody else below have a team overall worse than the Heat, in my opinion.
Yeah. I see you really dropped the Charlotte Hornets from 13.
Yeah, they are...
He had them a lot higher than he should have.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I thought their team was going to be overall better, but they have lost like 4 games in a row.
What happened to Dwight Howard? Is he just not...
I guess he's not doing as hot as what he was doing at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, he was Superman to start.
I know.
Yep.
Now he's just
Jeremy Lamb right now is averaging 20 points with 4 assists or something like that. He's turning it up for the Hornets, which is why they're even in the top 25.
Yeah.
Or else they would have been worse.
They're kind of one of those bland teams, though, aren't they? They're not
going to go and be...
No.
No one's going to take over games and be able to be a highlight kind of person or a top tier, but Kemba Walker is an excellent player.
And you got the Thunder at 15. Wow. You really don't
have
a lot of faith in them.
I think he had the Sixers a little high too. I mean, they're playing decent, but it's just.
I love the 76ers.
Their wins are so. You love Embiid.
Embiid is a hell of a player.
Their wins
I
are
like
so
all. I like Simmons a lot better than Embiid.
Simmons is doing stuff.
Yeah,
Simmons
6'10" point guard. Good lord,
he killed the Pacers. That's
tore us up.
I know.
I mean,
Against Collison.
Yeah, he's 6 foot. Like,
Yeah.
6 foot tall.
6 foot versus 6'10". Yeah.
We had nobody to stop him.
We have nobody to stop him. Like,
No.
Nobody.
The closest person I would put on him is Thad.
And they did it towards the end of the game. They actually did, and
it's hard
he
to
actually
guard a guy that's almost like a point.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I feel like he has less range than something that doesn't have a lot of range. Like his range extends from the free throw line forward.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
He's not known for being a 3-point shooter or mid ranger. He's not that kind of person. And so
if you stop him from going through the paint, if you keep him out, he's not going to do anything except pass the ball off, and then
that's what happened.
You just rely on your other teammates to do stuff.
That's what happened in the second half. Nate McMillan finally put that on him, and then
we should not talk about Nate McMillan because that's not a fun topic.
And so then they put that on Simmons, but then this JJ Redick just fucking tore us up. Oh my goodness!
Nice.
Nate McMillan's done some nice things for the Pacers, but
it's time to.
I don't think he was the.
Replacement for Frank Vogel.
I'm with you on that too. I know. I couldn't believe they switched.
You can thank Mr. Bird for that.
Yeah, that was a dumb move. I don't know what that was all about. I mean, McMillan's the same coach that Vogel was, but not as good. I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
It was just Bird wanted that more offensive running guy that they're actually doing, and
it's working out a little bit, but
Vogel was focused on defense.
Mm-hmm. We have no defense now.
And that's the thing with Vogel. He unlocked the potential in Aaron Gordon. He scored a career high 40 points, and he's averaging a shit ton of points right now. Yeah,
he's a leading 3-point shooter in the league, 55%.
Yep, he's unlocking.
That's unbelievable.
He's a potential guy. He's not really about schemes and plays. He's about getting these players to be at their best, and I love Vogel. I miss him to death.
Vogel's a lot like Brad Stevens, but that's the same sort of coaching kind of idea.
Yep.
Yeah. I know. I think we gave up a good one when we gave up Vogel.
Anything else for you guys? You guys want to talk about, or time to move on?
I think you're underestimating how terrible the Kings are, and the Nets. That's pretty far.
The Kings.
The Nets without D'Angelo is a thing.
Yeah,
they're not going to win a single game.
But if you look at the teams below them, none of them are really.
Yeah, I don't like the Kings at all.
I know, but
their point differentials have been just ridiculous this year.
But if you look at the Jazz, who just lost to Rudy Gobert.
But they've always got the great Joe Ingles.
Yeah, that's true.
Isn't that what you said earlier today?
I did. But I'm going to be realistic, and it's a team that's meh. Brooklyn Nets, D'Angelo Russell, he's out. The team overall is actually a decent team with the Nets. Chicago Bulls, McCarron or something like that. Markkanen.
Yeah, that rookie.
He's not bad, but again, the Simmons and Zach LaVine, they're about to get Mirotic. Eventually I might be able to get back up in the power rankings, but right now I don't like them as much as the Nets.
Yeah. I'm so glad you dropped the Mavericks finally.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was such a headache looking at them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they've lost 12 games out of 14.
They're awful.
They are. And then
that's less than a 20%.
They pretty much only have Dennis Smith on their team now, don't they?
Yeah, the bottom three teams only have 2 wins each. So that's 6 wins combined, and there's 14 games.
They're 4-24.
Yeah.
I see you dropped, before you go on, I see you dropped the Trailblazers quite a bit. And
They have lost games also that they should have won. I can't remember.
they lost to or whatever.
They lost to, but they lost to some pretty bad teams.
Yeah.
And that also looks like more of a thing of him boosting Miami and Sixers to unnecessary levels. Cough, cough. and the Knicks have been doing crazy, so...
The Knicks will eventually drop down.
Oh, yeah. Especially with Porzingis coming out.
Yeah, they're going to drop that. Yeah.
I mean...
But
Yeah.
when
When it comes to the Blazers, the last game they lost to was the Nets. 101 to 97. Then they lost to the Grizzlies 98 to 97.
That's not bad.
That's not too bad. Then they lost to the Jazz 112 to
Well, the Jazz
103.
The Jazz were doing stuff, and then Gobert going out is just like a death blow.
And then they lost to the Raptors because that second half they only shot, what was it, like 13%. They shot awful in the second half. I remember hearing that statistic. They were they were awful.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
For Portland?
No, it was the second quarter. Okay. They only scored 6 points in the second
that's
quarter.
Right, we were talking about that. Yeah,
they scored 6 points, and the Raptors scored 25.
Jeez.
But
and that's McCollum and what's
Willard.
By the way, Chris Stapps is back.
He is back? Okay.
He's playing tonight.
Well, in 2 weeks, they might be moving back up further.
He's only limited, apparently, because they're like 8 minutes in, and he only played 3 of them. Okay.
I guess also Rajon Rondo is going to be coming back tonight. He's cleared to play for season.
He's going to make a huge jump for the Pelicans.
Yeah,
in the wrong direction.
Bad move. Yeah. He'll come off the bench. He can't start.
No, he's gonna. It says he's only played 6 minutes.
So you should have bumped those Wizards up. They're playing the Kings tonight. They're gonna be 9-5.
They're gonna be what?
That's a top team.
They're gonna be 8. They're gonna lose tonight. 8-4. I'm calling it. I'm gonna laugh so hard.
8-6. You mean?
8-6.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or 7 something like that.
Okay. We'll go ahead and move on to Mike's power rankings. We got the Golden State Warriors. I didn't put the Warriors. I don't know why.
Everyone knows who they are.
Yeah.
Everyone knows who they are. Golden State.
Yeah.
Houston Rockets, Boston Celtics, San Antonio Spurs, Detroit Pistons, Milwaukee Bucks, Minnesota Timberwolves.
I forgot that he had the top 5 teams be in the West last time.
Yep.
He did. Yeah.
Minnesota Timberwolves, Oklahoma City Thunder, Washington Wizards, Memphis Grizzlies, Denver Nuggets, New Orleans Pelicans, Orlando Magic, Cleveland Cavaliers, Philadelphia 76ers, Toronto Raptors, New York Knicks, Portland Trailblazers, Miami Heat, Utah Jazz, Indiana Pacers, Charlotte Hornets, Los Angeles Clippers, Los Angeles Lakers, Brooklyn Nets, Phoenix Suns, Sacramento Kings, Atlanta Hawks, Dallas Mavericks, and the Chicago Bulls.
Down 7 for the Pacers?
I know.
What are you doing?
You know, that was really hard to do because I'm with you. I think they should have won at least two out of those games.
Yep.
The Knicks and the
Pelicans.
Pelicans.
Yeah, we just kind of we
could have beat the Pistons too. That was a pretty close game at the end.
Yeah,
they definitely outplayed us.
They did. They had this pick and roll's killing us.
Yeah.
Everybody's dunking on us. That last game last night was just awful.
Awful.
Yeah,
Capella killed us.
Yeah.
20 points he dropped on us.
Yeah, there's no reason for that.
And the funny thing about this, before we talk about this, guys, I was putting in the power rankings for Mike, and I said negative 18 for the Los Angeles Clippers. And he goes, "What?" So shocked. You're like, well,
I didn't realize I'd done it. Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing because again they 4-0 and then went 1-7. So it's actually.
I don't have a lot of faith in them. I just don't have a lot of faith in the Clippers.
I understand that.
To be honest with you guys, if I didn't know Gordon and Griffin, I didn't know who else was on the team.
Patrick Beverly.
Yeah.
If they weren't 4-1, or they might have even been 4-0 when we did the last one.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way I would. I'm pretty sure on the first one I had them like 15, 16.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're right.
Yep. Before season started, we went. I think we had them like. I think I might have them in the 20s. They're that meh.
I don't understand two things on here.
Okay.
The Thunder. I
didn't see me here.
How in the world did they get a boost? Let alone like.
I know. Yeah, I have a lot more faith in them than you guys do.
I guess so. You believe in that big three? I
Well,
guess.
Paul George had a good game.
Yeah, 40 points, and then he had 36 last night. So.
And the Cavaliers moved down 5. And they're still way up there. Like, that means they were 9.
They were.
Holy crap, that is gross.
Yeah, I had them way up.
Well, where do you have them, Zach? You had them at 13.
Who?
Zach had them at 13 last week, or 2 weeks ago.
That was believing in LeBron James.
I am.
I never did. I never believed their defense. Their defense is
over his
awful.
shenanigans.
Defense is awful. I gotta say, their defense is awful. I think Detroit's the team that really is surprising me.
Oh yeah, that's
because the way they looked against the Pacers, they looked awfully damn good. I don't know.
Yeah.
They look like a team that's really changed their whole identity now. Van Gundy must have really got to these guys. Drummond looks like he's involved.
Oh
again,
yeah, he's playing
and
excellent.
that's really makes
on
a
defense.
He's
He's improved so much.
And Tobias Harris has been unbelievable. Jackson didn't really have to do much. Like he thought he had to do everything. Now he doesn't have to do much. Who else do they have? Detroit.
Oh, Bradley, Tobias
Harris.
Harris.
Bradley. Yeah, Bradley's brought a lot to that team.
You really don't believe in the Chicago Bulls, putting them still at 30 for 3 weeks in a row.
The Chicago Bulls suck.
They do. They're pretty.
After that game against the Pacers, yeah.
Those bottom 4 are literally just personal opinion. They're all just garbage.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. You can put them in any order, really.
Like, I had the Suns moving up for a little bit because they got on that streak right when they switched coaches.
Right.
And then they super disappointed in like the last 3 or 4 games.
Did they get anybody for Eric Bledsoe?
They got Greg Monroe.
Greg Monroe and a pick.
Yeah.
2 picks.
Yeah.
2 picks, yep.
The picks will be good.
The first
picks
and the
will be
second.
good.
Yeah.
And the way
for the Bucks though, they probably won't be that great. But
it's weird. The Bucks, they gave a first pick and a second pick, and the way they ordered they made it more specific with the picks. The second round pick is pretty much they're going to get that second pick more than likely.
Okay.
The first pick this year they have, if the Bucks fall through 11 through 16, then the Suns get the pick.
Well, it's 1 through.
No, it's 11 through 16. They weren't specific with it.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
That specific?
Yep. 11 through 16, and then the following year's like 4 through 12.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then the following year after that is like a guaranteed unprotected pick, so they get that pick no matter what in 2020.
See, that's a little ridiculous. I thought it was just a lottery protected pick for this year.
Nope.
So if they didn't go through the lottery, they would get it back.
Nope. Yeah, they weren't very specific on
which makes sense because the Bucks aren't gonna be like
they're not gonna be in the lottery.
Yeah,
they're awfully good.
Yeah.
So
I
think you have them a little high considering how they've been playing lately, but
the Bucks,
the 2-game win streak is a good start to move.
I got a lot of faith in there. Yeah.
Greg Bledsoe with that.
Yeah.
I love where you have the Raptors. I would love to put them there.
Right.
Their record just won't let me.
I know.
And the same with the Knicks. Like the Knicks have been just on fire.
Yeah,
and especially playing Cleveland tonight, it's gonna be a battle between LeBron James and Kristaps.
Oh yeah.
Since Kristaps isn't 100%,
yep.
LeBron James should probably take
it to him.
Yep.
Yeah, take it to him. Let's see here. Yeah, there's really nothing else.
I mean, you drop Portland 8 spots, and you're still making
it's
fun of
on
him
file,
for
yeah.
dropping
Yeah, I
7.
know.
Yeah, I did. I dropped him 8 also.
Like CJ McCollum and
Yeah.
Damian Lillard. Well,
Wow, so you're really high on those Pelicans, even dropping the Magic, who are 8-5.
Yeah, that's.
I guess you like that
After watching
Davis
that
and
game,
Cousins.
I
Yeah.
liked that game. I really did. I
That
haven't
second,
seen- I
that
haven't seen
second
the Magic
half,
yet.
it was just like, watching a Colts game. It's like, oh, we're just kidding around playing in the first half.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then
Second
they just took
half,
it to them.
it was like a 30-15 third quarter, and they just didn't let up in
It
the
was like
fourth.
men against boys.
Yep.
during the
Oh,
second
yeah.
half. That was
Yep.
just awful.
It was ugly.
I haven't, to be honest with you guys, I haven't seen the Magic play. So I don't know
I
if you
haven't
guys have
either.
any.
I haven't either, but
They've beaten teams
Yeah.
that are decent and
Mhm.
then lose to teams
Yeah.
that they shouldn't, and it's just
Once
like,
I see him, I'll be able to give a better idea.
I
where
feel
they're at.
like they're playing like the Pacers are, except they've got Vogel, so they're actually playing a little bit
that's
of
right.
defense.
Yeah.
Vogel.
Yep.
I love Vogel.
Yeah, the
Because
pace.
I can't imagine them playing like anything else, like with who they have on
It
their
was,
team.
yep.
Like Vucevic is the only one that would be slow paced.
Yeah, everybody else is fast. Yeah, fast paced.
And Vucevic isn't even that slow. Like
No.
he's like 25 years old. So
Right.
Yep.
like he's
Uh,
which is the oldest person in the starting lineup.
Wow,
It's
that's amazing.
ridiculous.
They got a young ass team. That's right.
yeah, tomorrow night, the Pacers go to Memphis.
Which will be tough.
Yep, and then we come back home for a game. And then we fly down to Miami, and we play in Miami and in Orlando. So
We'll be able to see
I
Orlando.
like all those wins.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
I can't remember the middle one where we come back home, but hopefully we can.
Conley scares me a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
We should be able to beat them.
we
I
should
think
be
we
able to
beat
beat
them. I know.
all.
Should be able to outrun them, that's for sure.
That's for damn sure.
Marcus All, come on. But we all have the Spurs, don't we, at number 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's without
That one
Kawhi,
team
but they're.
that's always right there, aren't
Yep.
they, without Kawhi Leonard. They
Yep.
may move up to 1 when Kawhi Leonard comes back.
Oh my God!
They're
Yeah.
awfully tough. That's how tough they're going to be.
Really, like it's ridiculous.
I know.
And the Rock is Chris Paul still out too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Chris Paul's out. I can imagine what that would have been like last night if they'd had Chris Paul.
I mean, ugly.
Yeah.
Ugly.
They're unbelievable. That James Harden is one hell of a player. One hell of a player. I got to say, that game last night, we didn't have anything
Could you
for that
imagine?
guy.
Like I can't even imagine the Thunder
Oh yeah, if they were kept
Oh,
James
I
Harden
know.
and had Kevin Durant,
And
Ibaka.
Ibaka.
and Westbrook.
Like
Jeez.
they would be the Golden State
Team
Warriors.
Yeah.
I know. That was unbelievable. Harden's got a game now that...
And the rapists, they could still.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the guys that got rapists.
Well,
yeah.
what's amazing is, think back on it. How good Harden's gotten since he's left
Oh yeah.
Yep.
the Thunder.
Yep.
He's gotten even better.
Yep.
That's scary.
My thing when it comes to why I'm not as skeptical if they would have all stuck around is like what Mike just pointed out.
Yeah.
With Houston, James Harden is able to play with the ball in his hands. Westbrook has to have the ball in his hands. Kevin Durant has to have the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
It's that same thing
Some of these
over and
things
over again.
where you have almost too many good players on one team.
Yeah.
Yep.
You have to have some role players.
Yep.
And I think Kevin Durant has become a better overall player.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
no
His
doubt.
offenses went down a little
His
bit.
defense got even better.
Yeah, but he's actually playing defense now.
Yeah.
he didn't play defense.
He
No.
can't score over Hart or Durant anymore. He'll block your shot.
Yeah, he used to just let people
Yeah.
like just drive around him and stuff. Now
We noticed last night, Kyle and I did, that Harden played defense last night.
Yeah, he actually did
That
on
was
us.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Of all the things that we needed was James
Yeah, he
Harden.
actually poked the
Like,
ball out of our
friggin'
hands, and he was
defense,
actually
yeah.
like smothering Darren Collison or whoever he was
Yeah,
guarding
that
at the
killed
time.
us. 'Cause we were hoping that he wouldn't play any defense.
Yeah,
That's
he-
the only thing that would help us.
But yeah, in the previous game that we watched that night, he just watched players walk by and dunk on him, and
yeah.
he
Never
just had his
reached-
arms
never-
down.
He kept his hands down.
Yeah.
He never even reached.
Like one time he like reached his arm out like this, and then he put it
Pulled
back
back.
as soon as the guy was like dunking. I'm like,
And he just.
but yeah, on the Pacers, let's play excellent
Good defense.
defense. Okay.
Yeah, that was something. So once, I know we said this 2 weeks ago, but once these next 2 weeks are up, maybe we'll see some more teams play. See that? We haven't had a chance to see a lot of the teams play yet. Once we do, then we'll have a better. I mean, I haven't seen the Raptors play yet. I haven't seen the Trailblazers play yet. Well, quite almost all the teams play yet.
And once the season gets to about 20 games or so,
that's
when the teams are pretty close to locked into where they're going to be. Like there's not going to be an 18-point shift.
No.
Yeah, with the Clippers, no.
There's a good chance the Clippers will stay maybe right.
It's not going to be as rocky where 18 and then 14, 6 and then a 7.
11.
Yeah, you're right.
There'll be some like 3s and 4s probably in the next couple, especially by the end of December. And when we have like in December power rankings, it'll be more consistent. So I would think.
Well, plus injuries make a difference too.
Yeah.
Injuries and then
injuries make losing streaks, which affect a lot.
So Gobert right now, Jazz is 20.
Yeah,
but they may drop it to 24 or 25. Depending, but.
And that's the thing with NBA trade.
They should be under the Pacers already. What are you doing?
The
thing with NBA right now, or not right now, but in the future also is trades. With Bledsoe. Actually has favored the Suns. They won several games.
Because I actually, going into making my list today, before I realized that the Bucks were 2-0 with Bledsoe, I had the Bucks lower than the Pacers.
Wow. Yeah.
But
then you realize that
I realized they went on a 2-game win streak with
Bledsoe back.
Because they weren't playing very well. They were playing like the Knicks. It was just all. It was all Porzingis for
It's all Giannis.
It was all Giannis.
All Giannis. Yeah.
I mean,
Bledsoe on that team now.
Players can only keep up those numbers for so long.
Yes.
If you looked at Westbrook's point totals last year, they kind of went down a little bit towards the end.
Still kept
he was still getting the triple doubles, ridiculous.
But his point totals went down.
Yep. And this year you can tell with Westbrook, he's kind of. Taking him a little easier because he only got like 5 rebounds and 6 assists the other night.
I mean, he doesn't have to play as hard either, so.
No. And it's a good thing for him, too.
Maybe he should because they're not doing very
good.
No. Okay, guys. I think that's going to call it for here. But in 2 more weeks, we'll definitely have a good understanding of where things are. I think, like what we talked about before, also, is probably like the top 8 won't shift very much, and then bottom 8 is the middle where we'll actually start to understand where things are.
There's a lot of teams right now, like from his 6 down to his 24 are 1 or 2 games apart.
Yep. Yep.
Oh. No. We just finished our podcast.
Okay, guys, I think we're going to call it there with Mike going and talking to his brother.